And what are you going to do during that first meeting? I want to cover a few things that are great tips going into that. First of all, the day before your first meeting, you want to send a text or a phone call or an email. Just send a notice out to everybody. Hey, just a reminder, we're meeting tomorrow. This is the location, this is the time, and we are sure looking forward to having you join us. So if you invited a neighbor a couple houses down and you know that it's been a week since you talked, send that reminder text the day before your first meeting. Then on the day of your first meeting, I encourage you as you to get started on time. If you said you're going to start at 7, try to start as close to 7 as possible. Don't let it be 7:15, 7:20. You need to try to start on time with whoever's there. And then once you start, I encourage you at first meeting to begin by going around the circle and make sure that everyone has everyone else's cell phone number. It takes a few minutes to do this, but it is so worth it for the group. So I encourage you to go around and say, hey, my name's John, here's my cell number, and you type it in, and then everyone's got on their phone. Then you go to the next person and take that time to go around and add everyone's number to the address book. The reason why that's helpful is then later on, if God brings someone to your mind and you wanted to say, how did that prayer request turn out that we prayed for? It's very easily and accessible to increase the communication inside that group. Another thing you want to do is take a look at the group guidelines at the front of your book. So go ahead and everyone turn there, and you're going to see these group guidelines. We're going to make sure that everything is understanding what this group is all about, especially the safe and confidential environment paragraph, conflict resolution, accountability, giving people the permission to speak into your life. If you have additional host rules, that's important to have right there, like no Cheetos on the couch. That's where you want to write those down so that you can have a great host experience. It's important, I have that group attendance that if I'm going to not show up on a week or I'm going to be running late, I'm going to text so that the host knows who's coming, knows whether to wait for me or not. All that is important stuff. So cover that group guidelines in that first meeting. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip over after you cover group guidelines, after everyone's there, you're going to flip over to the begin with prayer, and then you start the video. So you don't do anything in the book first. You kind of greet everyone. You start the video. You watch week 1. You'll have Gary, you'll have Dawn talk about all this, and they're going to cover the content in these pages at the beginning of the book, page 5 and 6. And then you're going to get to this page 7 where it says discussion questions. After the video is over, these are the discussion questions you're going to do together. So you're going to go through those. Each week is going to have a memory verse. So I mentioned memory verses on the back. Man, I highly recommend take some time to do those. And so that's kind of the flow of the meeting. It's not going to take a long time. Usually an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half is a good length of time. Some groups can do it faster, especially Zoom groups can do these in 45 minutes and be done. So highly encourage you kind of plan to start on time and end on time each week.